My friends, this is Dr. B, the best doctor in medicine. 30 plus years of clinical experience at high level in medicine. Today, Dr. B wants to talk to you about a revolution, a recent revolution in the care of Alzheimer dementia. A recent revolution in the treatment, in the care of Alzheimer dementia. Alzheimer dementia is the number one fastest growing dementia in elderly population, in older people, starting around 65, 70, 75, 80, doesn't matter. It is the fastest growing one, right? There are different reasons why Alzheimer's dementia, the incidence, the number of new cases is increasing. It's obviously all this junk food that people have been eating since they were little kids, all these toxins that go to your brain, all this nasty food full of carcinogens, dyes, chemicals, herbicides, pesticides, blah, blah, blah. And there's also the fact that people live longer. As people live longer, the odds of getting cancer, but also dementia increases, obviously. But now we see people with dementia, Alzheimer's dementia, in their 60s, 65, 70, 75, whereas it used to be way older people mostly, right? And these younger adults, 60, 65, 70, 75, that are developing Alzheimer's dementia, it's obviously because since they were kids, since they were young kids, young teenagers, young adults, they've been feeding themselves or being fed by their parents or their school, blah, blah, blah. All this junk processed food, full of nasty stuff, right? So there is, of course, this Alzheimer's dementia, which is the number one cause of dementia, the fastest growing cause of dementia, and also, of course, the fastest growing cause of mental impairment, mental cognitive impairment in advanced aged adult, right? I posted some videos about this. Make sure you watch these. And I talked to you about the 2 blood tests that you can do in case one of your family members, either yourself or one of your family members, whether it's sister, brother, uncle, daddy, mommy, whoever it is, doesn't matter, a loved one, right, is starting to have the number one most common early sign of Alzheimer dementia, which is impaired short-term memory. Short-term memory. The long-term memory means the memory from many years ago, a few years ago, a few months ago, is still intact. The intermediate term memory means what the person did last week or 2 days or 3 days ago or yesterday is still intact. But the person forgets very short-term events. Like the person comes back from work and he's 70 years old, goes to the market, goes to work, go to wherever you want, or visit somebody, and he comes home after 1 minute, he forgot if he locked the door of his car or not, or her car or not. He or she forgot where they put their eyeglasses before they took a shower just 5 minutes or 10 minutes ago. He or she forgot where they put their cell phone that they put somewhere just 5 minutes ago. Very short-term memory and constant short-term memory gaps. And that is noticeable by the wife, the husband, the kids, the family members, right? If you have any of this early sign of Alzheimer dementia, make sure you watch my video. I posted a video about the 2 blood tests. One is the genetic blood test and the other one is the biomarker blood test to see whether or not you do have this dementia, which of course if the blood test comes positive, of course it will have to be confirmed by a magnetic resonance imaging of your brain, right, an MRI of your brain. to detect these amyloid plaques. But the first sign, the first step is to be aware of this short-term memory loss, short-term memory gap, so that you don't let it go as sign of, oh, well, daddy is 70, he's getting old. No, he's not 70. My God, my daddy is 85 years old. He's still very extremely sharp. My uncle, right? My uncle, how old? 90 years old, still extremely sharp. I see patients in their late 80s, early 90s, former mathematicians, physicists, doctors, lawyers, extremely sharp brain, still reading, still improving their knowledge in their own fields, even though they are retired. So aging, normal, look at Warren Buffett, right? He's 90-something, he's still investing money, blah, blah, blah. So aging and losing memory is not a normal process of aging, short-term memory, right? You should not become mentally challenged, mentally impaired as you get older, right? In a normal aging process of your brain. So be aware of that. If you have that, make sure you do the 2 screening tests. I posted video about that. Genetic blood test for Alzheimer to see if you're at high risk, and the biomarker test, right? Talk to your doctor, right, to make you do those blood tests. If these 2 screening tests, either of them comes back positive, like every screening test, then you need to do the diagnostic test. Then you need to have an MRI. It's a 2-day exam. They have to inject you, blah, 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 do some injection, blah, blah, blah. You come back the next day to do the following study, MRI, to detect these amyloid, beta amyloid plaques that are destroying your neurons, destroying and killing your brain cells, right? Now, think about this. The reason why I'm posting this video, in addition to the 2 or 3 videos that I posted about the screening test for Alzheimer and blah, blah, blah. Just yesterday, at our beautiful cardiovascular clinic where I work, I call a patient, a male patient. He was in his late 60s, early 70s. I forgot the exact age. So the husband and wife together, I called the husband and wife, come on into the exam room so that I can check the heart of the male patient, of the gentleman, the husband. I always sit down with the patients face to face, the same way I'm talking to you, 3 feet apart, and how are you doing? What's up? Hello, what's your name? Blah, blah, blah. It was the first time I was seeing them. So, of course, introducing myself, talking to them. So, sir, so you're how old? I entered his name, information in the computer, blah, blah, blah. Before checking his heart, right, with the ultrasound system, right? I'm an expert in cardiovascular imaging and an expert in medical imaging, ultrasound imaging in every field with 14 licenses, American, USA licenses. The North American record for any doctor with 14, the highest, the record in medical imaging, 14 licenses at high level, right? So, I entered the information in the ultrasound system, in the computer, blah, blah, blah. And I say, well, so how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And where you're from? They had a little accent, and their name wasn't the typical English origin name. And they told me they are from Greece and blah, blah, blah. But who cares about that? And each time I was asking question to the husband, he was a little bit behind. Mentally, he was kind of not answering immediately, asking his wife, and the wife told me that he's starting to develop dementia. The gentleman was doing pretty good. He was a little bit overweight, a little bit. At the end of the exam, when I checked his heart, for a 70, late 60, early 70s man, he was doing pretty good, tiny little stuff here and there, but the heart was pretty okay for his age, right? No major issues for his heart. And the wife told me that he's starting to forget stuff and starting to develop dementia. So I told her, so did your doctor make you do the blood test, the screening test for Alzheimer dementia? And she said, no. And I said, what do you mean? What about the medication? Did your doctor prescribe to you any medication? Did you have any consultation with a neurologist, right? Because now, and she said, no. I said, ma'am, how long it's been that he's developing this forgetfulness, short-term memory gaps? And she said, about a year. And the family doctor never sent the gentleman to see a neurologist, right? The neurologist would have immediately done either of the two screening tests to detect, to say, oh, okay, so you're having short-term memory gaps. Let's see if you are starting to develop Alzheimer dementia. I posted a video about the two screening tests that you need to start doing as soon as somebody has a short-term memory gap, right? Family members of you, this is important for you. A genetic blood test, screening blood test, or biomarker screening blood test. So the neurologist would have ordered that, and obviously if one had come back positive, would have sent the gentleman to confirm the diagnosis by doing an MRI of the brain and look for beta amyloid. And I told her, listen, you need to ask your doctor to send you to a neurologist, because now we have two screening blood tests and we have two medications that can not only slow down the pace at which Alzheimer's dementia develops and your brain cells die, but also reverse course, means to stop it. And she said, really? Are you sure? What's the name of those two medications? Let me Google them. And that's what I told her, and I'm telling you, there are two medications now that are done once a month. Once a month IV injection. You go, you take your husband or your wife or your parent to the hospital or the clinic, right? And once a month, that medication is infused. IV infusion, and that's it. You go and you come back the next month. And here is the name so that you know and you can write it. Leqembi and Kinsula. Look at this. I'm not advertising anything. I'm just telling you so that you know. If you have any family member who has short-term memory gap, and the family doctor, most of whom are a few years behind in their continuous medical education, continuously upgrading your knowledge, and I will tell you why. It takes a few years for your family doctor, for your internist to learn about these medications, because these are new. And your doctor doesn't have the time, like me, like Dr. B, to constantly, every day, read about new diseases, new medications, new treatments, new diagnostic modalities, new techniques in surgery, blah, 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 blah. Because your doctor is busy running the practice, making money. Your doctor is busy with wife, kids, family, blah, 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 right? They don't have the time like Dr. B. I am single. I have no wife. I have no kids. My family members are all out of the state of California. I live here in the Mountain View, California, the beautiful city of Mountain View, California. Beautiful, but super expensive. But I have no wife, no kids. And for the last 2 years, I've had no girlfriend. And all my family members are out of state or in other countries, France, Middle East, Canada, blah, 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 right? So unlike your family, most doctors, I have the constant time to dedicate at least 1 hour per day, 365 days a week, to improve and upgrade my medical knowledge and my medical skills, right? I don't have a girlfriend to take out. I don't have a wife and kids to take on vacation, to take them out, to keep them busy, blah, blah, blah. I don't have to go constantly celebrate birthdays and weddings and this and that and this and that, right? So I have a huge amount of me time. Me time to go to the gym 2 hours a day, no exceptions. Me time to sleep from 9 o'clock at night to 6 o'clock in the morning, no exception. Me time to study 1 hour, because I receive 8 medical journals, high-level medical journals every month at my apartment, to read 1 hour at least every day, sometime more on Sundays, right? I don't work on Sundays. To upgrade my medical knowledge, to stay on the top of my game, right? Like an athlete who practices every day, despite being the number one in the world, like tennis players, golfers, basketball players, football players, they need to practice 8 hours a day, right? To be on top of their game, to be on the top of their game, right? It's not like the guy can sleep because he's number one in the world. No. You need to keep practicing. Despite being 30 years in medicine, I keep reading and improving my knowledge constantly. It's called continuous medical education, and I do it every day. Right? I have the time to learn the Thai language, my language number 6 in fluency, written, spoken, right? The Thai language, I'm already fluent, written, spoken in 5 languages. I have the time to improve my game of chess, improve my knowledge of high-level mathematics, physics, chemistry, blah, 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 because of this opportunity that I have to not have family taking care of kids and wife and girlfriends and blah, 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 right? I posted a video about the solace of solitude, right? I am alone, but I'm not lonely at all. There's a huge difference between being alone, living alone, being alone, and being lonely. I'm not lonely at all. My patients are my family. My patients are my kids. Science, knowledge, learning keeps my brain so busy. I don't have even the time to think about anything else, right? So that's why the patient was so stunned that how come for the last year his or her family doctor never told them about these 2 medications that can not only that can not only slow down, but at best in many patients, it just completely stop the evolution of the disease, right? So in some patients, it can reverse course by cleaning those nasty amyloid plaques that are accumulating in the brain cells, those plaques that kill the brain cell, right? These 2 medications can clean your brain or the brain of your loved one, from the accumulation of these plaques. So not only you can slow down, but you can also hope at best to not only slow down, but reverse course, or at least stop it. Not just slow it down, but stop it, right? Because Alzheimer develops quickly in a lot of people. The guy, after a couple of years or 3 years, that's it, he's gone. He's in a disaster. He can't even recognize his family member, his own wife, his own kids, after 2 or 3 years, right? So, and it's a disaster for family. It costs, on a national scale in the US, it costs billions of dollars for family members, the government, the states, to take care of all these people who have Alzheimer's dementia. It costs billions of dollars in fortune. It costs massive amount of pain for the family member, massive amount of time for the family members and caregivers, massive amount of tears and cries, massive amount of depression in the caregivers and the family members, to see how their daddy, who is only 70, 75, to see how their husband and wife, who is only 65, 70, 75, they were hoping to retire soon, to go to Argentina, to build their dream home, to visit the world, blah, blah, blah. That's it. All those dreams are shattered. Now the wife or the husband and the kids have to take care of daddy, mommy, the brother, the sister. It's a disaster. It costs billions of dollars. It costs millions of hours to take care of these people, millions of tears, millions of depressions, millions of anger, millions of sadness for everybody who's taking care of these people, right? And I was just stunned. The patient was stunned, and the patient told me, how come my doctor never told me about these two medications? Obviously, as a medical professional, I'm not allowed. It's not ethical to put another doctor down. But I explained to them that, well, you know what? These are new medications, and a lot of family doctors haven't heard of them yet, and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. But it's a sad reality. Remember that by the time most family doctors realize that there's a new treatment for a given condition in a certain field, it takes at least 2 or 3 years, or at least a few months, right, for the family doctor to learn about it, because some of them have the time once in a while to open a medical journal, but there's so much knowledge that constantly comes in the field of medicine that it's hard to keep up if, unlike me, you don't have a lot of free time for myself, right? If you have family members, kids, wife, husband, and a family, and this and that, you need to go on vacation for the kids, you need to take care of the wife, the girlfriend, this, that, right? It's extremely time consuming, and they don't have the time, and they're busy trying to run a business. They need to make a lot of money to pay for their villa in Spain, to pay for their staff, to pay for the rent of their clinic, and even at the hospital it's the same thing. So they need to see a ton of patients. By the time they go home, they don't have the time to do anything else. They are tired, blah, blah, blah. You get the point. So it's important that you, my dear fellow citizens, get the bull by the horn and get in charge of your own healthcare. Become your own healthcare advocate. Do not entrust completely 100% your mind and your body to your doctor like the doctor is the God. Well, the doctor has also his lacks. The doctor has also his shortcomings. He's not perfect, right? So make sure you watch my videos. I try to explain to you in simple ways the easy topics in medicine that will allow you to stay healthy and stay away from all these nasty diseases that are plaguing, that are waiting for you and to attack you and to cause you a headache and to prevent you from aging gracefully. Watch my videos so that together, me and you, we can stay away from cardiovascular disease, dementia, mental health disorders, kidney disease, kidney failure, heart failure, liver failure, blah, 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 heart attacks, strokes, cancers, blah. It's easy to do. It costs $0. You need to just watch my videos and follow my advices and my guidance. So please remember, if you have a family member who has been disregarded by the family doctor, and it's all the time, it's not just this case, I see other cases all the time, because medicine has become like this. It just has become a business, and the family doctor, the internist, is too busy making money. They see 30 patients in a day. They go in and out from one room to the other, spending only 5 minutes, which is the average time a doctor spends in the exam room with his or her patients. Statistic of the American Medical Association, whereas the average patient spend 45 minutes in the waiting room waiting to be taken inside the exam room, in which they're going to spend only 5 minutes. Official statistics of the American Medical Association. So stay in charge of your own. Grab the bull by the horn. Become your own healthcare advocate. Advocate for your own healthcare. Make sure your doctor cares. If you are in a medical team that doesn't care, well, do like me when I changed my dentist twice before I found the third dentist is the best one. I'm going to keep it for the rest of my life, God willing, right? If you feel that your health team doesn't care, doesn't take good care of you, just change. There are millions of other doctors you can go. Call your insurance company, get referral from people who knows and who have found a good doctor. Drive maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 miles more, but then you're going to see a good doctor who's going to care for you, who is not going to rush you in and out like you're in an assembly line, who will take your questions, answer your questions, care about you, and will individually take care of you. Most doctors nowadays, because they are such in a hurry to make a ton of money and to see more patients, they put every patient in the same bag. They don't do what we call individualized, tailored medical management. Medical management should be tailored, individualized to every one single patient, because everyone is different. I'm different than who you are. You are different than your brother, your sister. As we age, we become different, right? Genders are different. There are racial variabilities. Black people, Asian people, everybody's different. Our body is therefore different based on age, gender, sex, ethnicity, blah, 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 right? But nowadays, it's no longer like that. Family doctors who see adults, they put everybody in the same stuff. They don't adapt, they don't tailor, they don't customize the medical management and medical care to that individual patient, because they are in a hurry to see a lot of patients and get the hell out of the room and go see another doctor. And that's why this patient, despite her husband starting to develop short-term memory gaps, short-term memory loss, the family doctor never sent him to see a neurologist, whom would have ordered, I'm sure, of course he's a neurologist, he's an expert in dementia, one of the two screening tests, the biomarker test or the genetic marker test, and then confirm it with an MRI, and then immediately start one of these two medications, so that the course of the dementia can be completely altered. It can not only be slowed, but in many cases it can be stopped and even reversed to normal. Is that crazy? Guys, I love you. Dr. B graduated more than 30 years ago from medical school. I took the Hippocratic Oath to never, ever, ever put my own interest above yours. You will be always above me. Your interest will be always above me. I will never lie to you. I will only tell you the truth, the scientific evidence, and nothing but the scientific evidence. I will never tell you my opinion. All I tell you is based on the fact, the science, the medical science, right? And I will never sell you garbage, never sell you fake stuff, never tell you to believe what I say. No, I'm telling you the science. That's it. There is nothing to believe. I'm telling you the truth in medicine. I'm not like all these quacks that you find online who should be ashamed of themselves, who are selling garbage, who only telling garbage. I click on one of these beautiful videos, and they're expert at making videos, right? A real doctor shouldn't be an expert in making videos. That's the only video I can make, which is what I love. I talk to you the same way I talk to my patient, face to face. No artificial intelligence. Here is natural intelligence, natural 100%. No special effect, no music, no nothing. I just need you and me in front, face to face, right? And after 2 minutes, after 30 seconds, once I click to see what the katsu is he talking about, right? I see he's a quack. I see they're lying. I see they are just morons. Unfortunately, they do it and they get away with it just for the clicks, just for the subscriber. But Dr. B is here to teach you how to age gracefully and to stay away from all these nasty diseases, so that, God willing, at the age of 100 together we can die healthy in our sleep, in our bed at the age of 100, God willing. Put your comments and questions, anything you want to ask down there. I will get back to you as soon as I have the time in my super busy but super beautiful life, and I love it. And I will get back to you. I hope to talk to you in the next video. God bless you all. Thank you. Bye-bye.